Hello students, in today's lecture we are going to discuss closed word classes. Closed word classes have relatively few members, so we can identify each of them by listing their members. They can be classified by considering their functions in the phrases and clauses. They usually come at the beginning of larger units they introduce. The members of the closed classes are fixed in number. The list of each closed class is finite. You cannot add new members in it. These closed word classes are divided into 7 classes. First is determiner. Determiners introduce noun phrases and function as modifiers. They are sometimes obligatory, they are compulsory. If the head of an noun phrase is a singular count noun, then some determiner has to be added. We have here example, girl gave pen. So girl requires here article and you have to add the. Again pen is noun and noun requires articles. So we have added here a pen. A and the, these are the articles which are obligatory. They introduce nouns. So determiners include articles. There are two types of the articles, definite and indefinite. The, a or an are the most common determiners. We have here complete list of the determiners beginning with articles, the, a, an, this, that, these. Those, all, some, any, no, every, each, either, neither, one, several, enough. So this list ends with a full stop. So we can say that closed word classes have fixed membership. You cannot add new members in it. You cannot add new members, and that's why they are called closed word classes. So this list is here completed. So we have discussed today determiners, and determiners generally come at the beginning and they are commonly used as a articles. We use articles as a determiners. Second category, second class of the closed word class comes pronoun. Pronouns are dummy nouns and noun phrases, obligatory elements of noun phrase, and they act as head. So what is pronoun? Pronouns are dummy nouns. Instead of noun, we use pronouns. When pronouns are obligatory elements of noun phrases, they act as head of such phrases. In last lecture, we have discussed that phrases have structure, modifier, head, modifier. First modifier denotes pre-modifier. Second one is the H for head, and third one is the post modifier. So pronouns, when they are compulsory, when they are obligatory elements of noun phrases, they act as head of such phrases. They can also function as modifiers in noun phrases. So we find that they have both functions, head as well as modifiers. Here is a list of pronouns, and this list again ends with full stop. This list is big one, beginning with I, me, my, mine, myself. We, us, ourselves, ours. You, yourself, yourselves, yours. He, him, himself. His, she, her, herself, hers. It, itself, its. They, them, themselves, theirs. So you find that you have to study this whole list beginning with I, me, my, mine, personal pronouns, and ending with here one another. So keep in mind important factors here. Pronouns are dummy nouns and they are obligatory elements of noun phrase. They act as a head of noun phrase. They also function as a modifiers in noun phrases. So after pronouns come uh, there is overlap between determiners and pronouns. We have first discussed determiners and this is the second list of pronouns. You can examine that, you can observe that there is a overlapping between determiners and pronouns. For example, we have taken this. This boy is a clever. In this sentence, this is a determiner. It comes before boy. Boy is noun here. Boy is a head. And this is here determiner functioning as a modifier. But in the second example, same this. This is a clever boy. In the second example, this is a pronoun. So there is a large overlap between determiners and pronouns and you have to observe it and you can show such type of the difference with the help of such examples. Then there is a third class of the closed word class, enumerators. That is not included in parts of speech in traditional grammar, but it is included in this new category. So enumerators are the words which show number. For enumerators, we are using small e as a symbol. Enumerators are divided into three parts: cardinal numbers, ordinal numbers, general numbers. Cardinal numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50, etc. Means this list is again complete list, but you cannot here you cannot contain include here. After cardinal numbers comes ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers talk about order: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, seventh. Then there are general numbers, next, last, other. So this third category of the closed word classes discuss about numbers, and these numbers are divided into three parts. So it is very easy to remember this class. After enumerators, we have fourth class of the closed word class, and that one is a prepositions. Prepositions introduce prepositional phrases. For example, you have phrase on the ground, in the cupboard, in, on. These are the prepositions. So what is the first function of the preposition? Prepositions introduce prepositional phrases. And what is the function? They express relations of possession, place, time. So relations are expressed by prepositions. Here we have Examples. First example, of the boy. Of the boy, we have preposition of. Of here denotes possession of the boy. At morning. At morning denotes here time. At is a preposition. And in the round bracket, we have included this phrase, and out of this round bracket, symbol is given, label is given PP. What is this PP? PP stands for prepositional phrase. So at morning is a prepositional phrase because it is introduced by preposition at. In the third example, we have in the garden. In the garden here shows place, location. In is here preposition. For a month. For a month denotes again here duration. So prepositions express relations of possession, place, time, duration. Again here is a big list of prepositions beginning with about, above, across, after, against, along, alongside, amid, among, around, as, at, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, besides, between, beyond, by, despite, down, during, for, from, in, inside, into. So you can watch it. It ends with full stop again. Last preposition is here without. Means their membership is fixed. You cannot add new prepositions. That's why it is included in closed word class. Again, there is a large overlap between prepositions and adverbs, particularly adverbs of place and direction. He looked up the sky. Up. Up is here preposition, but it shows direction. He looked. Where he looked? He looked up the sky. In the second example, he looked up. Up is here adverb. So there is a large overlap between prepositions and adverbs. Again, you can denote or express such a type of the difference with the help of the examples. So you have to study list of the prepositions, list of the adverbs, which is complete list, and you have to denote this difference. There is a overlap between prepositions and adverbs. Then comes conjunctions. Conjunctions are introductory linking words. But they often introduce clauses rather than phrases. In fact, they subdivide into two main classes: subordinating conjunctions and coordinating conjunctions. Again, we have a list: subordinating conjunctions: after, although, as, because, before, but, if, how, however. This list ends with in case. Then there is a list of coordinating conjunctions: and, or, but, nor, neither. So conjunctions are linking words. They link two words, two sentences. They introduce clauses rather than phrases. In the next chapter, in the next semester, we are discussing whole chapter subordinating and subordination and coordination. There is a big chapter that we are discussing in the next semester number 6. So, after conjunctions, we have operator verbs. Already in open class word, we have discussed verbs which are full verbs. Here we have operator verbs. Operator verbs function as auxiliaries in verb phrase. There are two main categories of the operator verbs. First one is the modal verbs. Modal verbs are can, will, may, shall, could, would, might, should, must, ought to. These are the modal verbs. Then there are primary verbs. Primary verbs are again three types are there. First one is to be, form of to be. Present forms of the to be are am, are, is. Past forms are was, were. Then being, been. Then we have. The forms of have are has, had, having, had. Then we have do, does, did, doing, done. So operator verbs function as auxiliaries in which phrase? In verb phrase. And for verb phrase, in the next chapter, afterwards we have second chapter that is of a phrases. While discussing phrases, we can discuss verb phrases. And in the verb phrases, operator verbs function as auxiliaries. And verbs that we have discussed in open class, they function as a main verb. Then last category or last class of the closed word class is interjections. Interjections express sudden emotions and they are primitive expressions of feeling loosely integrated into linguistic system. We can include here two swear words. For example, damn, greetings, hello, signaling, signaling words like goodbye, yes, no, okay, etc. So we have today discussed closed word classes which are divided into 7 parts. We started with determiners. There is a list of complete list of determiners. Then we discussed pronouns. Pronouns are dummy nouns or NPs. Then we have discussed a whole list of pronouns. There is an overlap between determiners and pronouns. With the help of the example, we have discussed how this overlapping uh, shows us one word working as a determiner as well as pronoun. Then we have enumerators. It is very easy to remember enumerators because they show numbers, but they are divided into 3 parts: ordinal numbers, cardinal numbers, and general numbers. Then we have prepositions, conjunctions, and then interjections. So this first unit discusses classes of the words. Classes of the words are divided into two major classes: open class and closed class. In open class words, we have discussed nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. These 4 categories are very important because you can add new members in these categories or classes. For example, noun. Noun is the largest particularly class of the word, that every day you can add new nouns. Then we have verbs. Verbs are action words. Even in verb you can add new members. Then you have adjectives and adverbs. These four classes are open classes. Then we have clear cut category of closed classes. In today's lecture we have discussed from determiners to interjections. There are 7 classes. This particular chapter is very important, which is the foundation of this paper, the structure and function of modern English. You have to identify these particular classes when you study phrases, clauses, sentences, subordination and coordination. You have to identify, and identifying this class is not a easy job. It requires lot of practice. You will think that after learning English from or so many years you are learning English, 14 years you have completed up to SYBA. From first standard to SYBA you have spent 14 years to learn English, and in last year you are discussing these classes. It is very important because word is the basic unit of grammar. So you have to identify them, and with the help of these particularly 11 classes, which are broadly we have divided these 11 classes in closed and open classes. They are very important. I have given you exercise. First exercise is solved in exam. They will ask you question. Identify the word classes of the underlined words in the following sentences in terms of noun, verb, adverb. So we have here first example, she returned quickly. Underline element is quickly. Underline element is adverb. How she returned? She returned quickly. Quickly talks about verb return. Her returning. How she returned, you have to ask question how. It is manner adverb actually. Quickly is a manner adverb. In second example, it will rain in the next week. Underline element is will. Will is here modal verb. Just we have discussed operative verbs are divided into two parts, modal verbs and primary verbs. Will, would, shall, should. These are the modal verbs. So category of will is operator verb. In the third example, Sangeeta is a smart girl. Smart, underline element is smart. Who is smart? Girl is smart. Girl is noun. Smart qualifies this girl. Smart is a adjective here. It functions as a adjective. We are talking about girl. Then in the next example, there is a book on the table. Underline element is the. Just we have discussed determiners. Table. Table is a noun, and the is here obligatory element. We require articles before noun. Table is noun here, and the is determiner. The doctor advised him bed rest. Advised. Underline element is advised. So advised is a full verb. There are two types of the verbs, operator verbs and full verbs. Full verbs we have included in open class, and operator verbs we have included in closed class. So advised is here main verb, it is full verb. So category of advised is verb. These fruits are rather costly. Rather is talking about costly. How much? rather costly. What is costly? Fruits are costly. So rather is here adverb. In this way you have to solve. First of all, you should observe, you should study these examples that are solved here. After this, you should try on your own these examples and you should solve these examples for practice. 15 examples are given. After reading and learning this whole chapter, the notes that are provided here, read again and again carefully. If you have any doubts, discuss with me and try to solve these particularly examples that are given for practice. Thank you. In next lecture, we will start our next chapter. Thank you very much.